Hi, everybody. This is Moss Jackson, psychologist and success coach, welcoming you back to Mondays with Moss, a video series of ideas, suggestions, and strategies for living an extraordinary life, a life of happiness, success, and accomplishment. So last time I videoed, which I think was last week, I talked about two essential skills we need to have to live an extraordinary life. One is coping and problem solving, which is the doing part of life. What do I need to do to manage the stresses, the frustrations, the goals, the desires of everyday life? And the second one is self-regulation, which is our ability to kind of reorganize yourself, feel restabilized and calm. So last week I gave you three examples, three things you could do for coping, which was number one, take action. Don't sit around and wait. Take action. Number two, think small rather than biting off big chunks, like the answer to the question, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Take small chunks and chip away at whatever problem you're working on. And the third one was giving up perfection. Stop trying to wait until everything is perfect. And three ways in which you could self-regulate were take recovery breaks every day. Maybe 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon. Take a walk, listen to music, do something to decompress and let go of stress. Secondly, breathing techniques, particularly slow, deep breathing, where you really pay attention to your breathing coming in and letting go of the tension as you breathe out. And the third was be a learner. Learn from your mistakes, learn from your failures. Don't make a big deal out of stuff. So today I want to give you three more strategies you can use for coping and three more strategies for self-regulation. Let's start with problem solving. So one thing you can do for problem solving is separate the fact from the story. Often something happens, like for example, if I don't get a return phone call from a client and I say, get back in touch with me by the end of the day. You had an appointment, not sure what happened, maybe you forgot. And if I don't hear from that person, I can either take it as a fact, he just didn't call, then we call again, or I can make up a story. Oh, he's annoyed with me, doesn't like my service, doesn't like my charges, and before I know it, I'm getting frustrated, annoyed, or anxious. So facts we can deal with, stories we can't, because stories make us miserable. Really important to separate your fact from your story. A second idea to cope or problem solve is called run at the dog. You know, a dog that say is snarling at you. Well, if you puff yourself up and run at the dog, the dog can run away, hopefully. Sometimes we want to run at the problem. Run at the dog, attack the problem. Don't wait and be passive and hope it goes away. A third is to reframe your thinking. So if something goes wrong, rather than jumping to a global conclusion like life sucks, I'm not good enough, nobody cares, be specific. Oh, I'm disappointed that the person didn't call me back. Let me deal with that before I go global. A second way of reframing your thinking is instead of going permanent, go to temporary. This doesn't mean it's going to be this way forever. My client might be dissatisfied. Let me find out. I can always put a correction if necessary. It's just temporary. This too shall pass. And the third way is turn the problem into a challenge. Instead of, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me, say, what can I do to manage this so I can be productive? So those are three techniques you can use to problem solve or cope. Separate the fact from the story, run at the dog, and reframe your thinking. Now, here are three ways you can have self-regulation. Every day, give yourself 5 gratitudes. For example, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my work. I'm grateful for my clients. I'm grateful for my creativity. I'm grateful for my wonderful, pleasant office. Okay, and let me digest that so I can feel good about what I'm grateful for. That's a way of telling my unconscious mind, hey, my life is working. Even though on a day-to-day basis something may be wrong, having gratitudes, I want to catch a little silver lining in my life. A second way is stop being a loner. You don't have to figure out it all on your own. Most of us don't do a great job when we have problems being by ourselves and thinking you have to do it yourself. We get embarrassed. Sometimes we feel shame about telling a person, I'm struggling with something. How would you handle this? Or getting a little sympathy or empathy. Human beings are social animals. We do better when we are connected intimately with another person and we ask for some support. And the third way is stop taking it personally. It is not personal. People don't wake up in the morning thinking about how to make you miserable. They have enough of their own problems. So again, just to summarize, 3 ways to self-regulate are have gratitudes, don't take it personally, and stop being a loner. Okay? So that's it for today, folks. Some simple techniques you can do to better self-regulate. I think I may have a few more, so I think next week I'll come up with 3 more ideas or ways to cope and problem solve, because you got to know how to function in the world, and 3 ways in which you can better self-regulate and take care of yourself. And then we'll go to those are the good ones. That all has to do with resilience, being resilient. So resilient requires coping and self-regulation. Okay, guys, so have a good week. I hope you have an extraordinary week. And if you'd like to learn more about what I'm up to, check my website, drmorrisjackson.com, and check my books and give me a call if you like. We'll do some coaching. Take good care.